will you share? I know this is a real personal thing, uh, but growing up and hearing the keys
Yeah.
in the door lock
Wow.
and going from that moment
Hmm.
to deciding you're the one.
You trying to make me cry. Um, um, I don't know why that makes me emotional because I talk about this, but maybe because it's you, because I know the pain you had as a child too. I only really have two talents, truthfully, and but they're good talents. And so one of them is I love people and I connect with people really well. And the other one is I'm a pretty good communicator. Beyond that, I don't bring a whole lot to the table. And but they were born out of pain. And the main one is the pain of when my dad would come home after drinking, and I would, make sure that my mom and my sisters were going to be safe. And so I would sit by the front door, and when my dad would come home, I could tell by the sound the key made in the lock whether he was drinking or not. I got to that point where if it went in really smooth, I thought, okay, we're okay tonight. And if it kind of rattled a little bit, dad was probably going to be in a foul mood. And so I would wait for him to come through the door, and I could hear the sound that key made. And I knew to this day, when I hear a key hit a lock, there's a trigger in me to this day. My hotel I'm staying at right now, I didn't hear the housekeeper come, and she was putting the key in the door by the time I heard it. And that even kind of triggers me. And so what would happen is my dad would walk through that front door, and I would just start immediately reading him. What's his tie tied like? What's his body language? Can I smell any alcohol on him? How's he walking? Is his tie tied straight? And I began to read with him. I'd be fully present with my dad. And that was the beginning of me being fully present with people. I didn't know that God was using that pain for those years of reading my dad to give me the skill to be somebody who's good in business at connecting or having a podcast and connecting, because I'm so connected to people. And I loved my dad so much. I wanted him to be okay. And so that part of it has stayed with me forever. And it developed me the main talent that I have in my life is the connection with people. And then once, if I figured out he was drinking, I'd have to talk to change his state. Hey, Dad, how was your day? Oh, it was okay. I'd say, well, man, my day was great, Daddy. It was? What did you do? I got a 93 on my spelling test. I hit a home run in baseball. Where'd you hit it? And I would change my dad's state by my talking and my communicating. And my goal was to get him away from the liquor cabinet and over to the couch, because if he was going to the liquor cabinet, my dad's drink was Beefeater's gin. And I remember just, if I could get him away from there, everything was okay. And what I didn't know as a little boy is God was using this pain for this little boy that I was going through to develop in me the two traits that I would use to help other people the rest of my life: my connecting with people, my ability to communicate. And so that's the perfect example of the temporary pain leading to you being the one. And then I think what happened was I just loved my family so much. I had Bert Kreischer on my show recently, Jamie. And this is why it's so important. We were always overcoming our wiring as a kid. We still are to this day. And I told Bert, we were talking about drinking, and I said, what kind of a dad are you? And he, he's a humble guy. He says, I'm a 6 out of 10 or whatever. And we were talking about his drinking. He's known for, that. And I said, Bert, the number one thing that my dad's drinking did to me wasn't that I was afraid or that, or we were going to be hurt or anything like that. What it did to me as a little boy is it caused me to worry. I would worry about my dad. I would worry he wasn't going to make it home. I was worried he was going to get in a car accident. Someone was going to hurt him. I would worry. And that created this pattern of me, of a worrier. And as I got older and older and older, no matter what happened in my life, I would go back to that pattern of worry and fear over and over again. And so it's a matter of, for me, is like, for me to be the one, I had to escape this worry and fear that I had in my life. And once I identified what it was, it allowed me to be the person that changed our family forever. So,
I know you used to try to protect your mom and your
mhm,
sisters if he was coming in drunk. And for so many people, and maybe for the person right now
mhm,
who was raised around hard things
mhm.
and is in a spot where they've been repeating them.
Yeah.
how right now, if they are 20 or 30 or 60
Mm-hmm.
or 70, how right now
Mm-hmm.
can they make the decision
Mm-hmm.
to be the one?
I can tell you for sure I know. The way that you change where you are in your life is these things that you believe about yourself that are negatives aren't true. They're not true. And remember this, if you start telling yourself the truth about who you are, to quote your work and your worthiness, you can change this. And so these things that you think about yourself are not true. And truth vibrates at the highest frequency. So what's happening is you vibrate at a very low frequency when you think negatively of yourself and when you don't believe good things about yourself, or when you're acting in a way that's not congruent with who you really are. And so in a moment, you can decide, I'm going to operate in truth. And the truth is you were born to do something great with your life. All of you were. You were born to do something awesome with your life in big ways and small ways. That is the truth. That is the truth. And so now we're operating at a high frequency level. When you operate at a high frequency level, it's from that position that you can make changes and adjustments in your life. So for me, when I need to make a change, I operate in truth about me. So if I'm going through a difficult time, I'll tell myself the truth. I'm built for this. I was built for this. I have a powerful God who believes in me. His DNA runs through me. I am built for this. And when I begin to tell myself any truth about me, man, I vibrate at a very high frequency. When I'm telling myself lies about me, that I'm weak and inferior and small and not very smart and all these things that I learned as a little boy, now I'm operating in lies. And that's a very low vibrational frequency, and I'm weak. I feel like Superman when I'm telling myself the truth about me. And you will feel like Superwoman or Superman when you begin to tell yourself the truth about who you really are. And when you tell yourself the truth about how you really are, you feel it. There's something about you that goes, and here's for me the truth. The truth isn't that I'm super talented. The truth isn't that I have a super high IQ. But I can tell you this, there's a power to intention. As you know that I talk about this a lot. I don't link my confidence to my abilities, because Wayne Dyer taught me this when I was a young man. Because you know what? My abilities may let me down. My results may let me down. But one thing I know about me, my intentions are good. I have good intentions. Today, before I came over here, you and I both, we prayed. I guarantee you, before I got here, you said a prayer. I know you. I said a prayer as well. My prayer isn't that I'm amazing. My prayer is that I connect to my intention. My intention is to help people, to serve, to contribute. Of all of my weaknesses and frailties and mistakes, I intuitively believe about me that I'm a good person. I've been with me all my life. I know me. You couldn't probably convince me I'm super smart or unbelievably talented or any of that, but you could convince me I'm a good human. And for most people listening to this, you know that about yourself too. You just don't give yourself any credit for it. There's a power to intention. Listen to me. There's a power to intention. And when you connect your confidence or even your worthiness, and you've taught me the difference between confidence and worthiness, to your intent, you become pretty unstoppable, because that's a truth about you. So the truth about me is I care. The truth is I want to do good. I don't always do good, but my intentions are good. And so that's such a truth about me. Then I'm superhuman because I'm vibrating at a high frequency, because I'm telling myself the truth about me. So the truth doesn't have to be, I'm amazing, I'm super talented, I'm beautiful, I'm this. Maybe you don't believe those things about yourself yet. That doesn't matter. Are you a good person? Are your intentions pure? Now, when you connect to intent, that's a truth, right? And that's why eventually I believe good people win. I just think good people eventually win because they're connected to truth and their intentions. So for me, it's always comes back to my intentions. Right before we did this today, in the green room, before you came over and we took our walk together, I just said a quick prayer to myself and reminded myself, I intend to serve. I intend to serve. Everything will be okay from there.
This is so good.
It is good.
This is like breakthrough. So many people are in this cycle of self-doubt.
Yes.
And they go, I want to believe I'm enough. I want to believe I'm worthy.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to.
Yes.
I don't know how to do it. This strategy,
Yes. Yes.
link your worth to your intentions, right?
Yes.
Because when you believe that to be true about yourself, your whole vibration
changes.
raises. You're in your power.
Yes. So I got to tell you, we have a friend, John Gordon, who talks about his different Ds, right? He's got these different Ds he talks about. I really have 3 Ds so let's reverse it. If I wanted you to fail, If you believe in the adversary, let's say, right? Or just forget you even believe in the adversary or the devil. You just believe in adversity. If I wanted to get you to fail, what would I try to get you to feel? I'd get you to feel three things. If I want you to fail, if I want you to quit on your dreams,
Yeah.
okay, quit on your business, quit on your family, quit believing in you, what would I need to get you to feel? One of three or all three Ds. The first thing I try to get you to be is totally discouraged. Because if I can get you discouraged, discouragement is a weapon of the adversary. So if I can just get you a little failure, a little setback, a little discouraged, I can get you to quit. If that doesn't work, here's what I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you a dose of doubt. Let me just dose you with some doubt. Doubt about your abilities. Doubt you're worthy of it. Doubt your intentions are good. Doubt your confidence level. Doubt. If I can get you doubting, I got you. Or if that doesn't work, I'll hit you with delusion. Delusion is I get you to believe things that aren't true. I get you delusional. Or I get you to believe your problem is way bigger than it is. A lot of people, when they have a problem in their life, they start thought stacking it, repeating it over and over and making it bigger. It becomes a delusion. Or some little mistake they've made, they repeat it over and over again. It becomes this delusional, huge thing. So if those are the three things that can take me off of my game or off of my dream or off of my heavenly pursuit to become the man or woman I was born to be, I rid them out of my life when I see them. I go, I know what this is. This is that whole discouragement thing. They're trying to discourage me. They're trying to get me to doubt. They're trying to get me to be delusional. And so I look for those things and I identify them when they're there. And then I always go back to truth. The truth is God would never want you doubting. God would never want you totally discouraged. And God certainly doesn't want you delusional. So that's a lie. That's a low vibrational frequency. The truth, which operates at the highest frequency, like we've talked about, is that you were born to do something great with your life. And if you connect it to your intentions, you're unstoppable. Wow, we're going there today, aren't we?
This
Jeez.
is so good.
This is really good.
Because a lot of people sit around and think, and they're not realizing they're giving themselves the three Ds. We
That's
get
right.
the three Ds from all around us all day long.
We do.
And so often we're giving ourselves the three Ds: discouragement, doubt,
Yes.
delusion,
Yes.
right? And then we're like taking ourselves out to the point where it's easy for someone to believe that's the truth.
Correct.
But it's not the truth.
That's
You
right.
feel it in your spirit. And if you're like, okay, but I keep failing, okay, but everyone's telling me I don't have what it takes. And you're saying, A, that's a lie. And B, when you operate in your truth, whether it is what does God say about you, whether it's the things you know to be true, or whether it's linking it to your good intentions.
Yes.
Your good intentions.
That's right. That's right.
Woo!
It's totally true. And the other thing, delusion also can be a vision issue. I know you've heard me talk about this, but like, here's another thing. Here's part of what delusion looks like. Delusion is, so the Bible talks about where there is no vision, the people will perish. So I've really thought a lot about that. For most people I meet, they have some kind of vision. Like if you ask the average person or ask anybody, listen to this, average person like me, well, you want to be happy or sad? What's your vision? They'd say happy. You want to be wealthy or in poverty? They probably say, I'd like to be wealthy. You want to be able to contribute and make a difference in your life or not? They probably say, I want to contribute. Do you want great memories in your life or you don't want any memories? Most people would say, I would love some memories in my life. What the adversary gets you to do, or our vision gets murky, is we believe it's further away than it is. We believe it's like 15, 20 years from now. Because we believe it's so far away, we create patterns and behaviors and belief systems that perpetually keep it there. And we keep things so far away. But that's a great lie. The truth is, you're one decision away from changing your life. You're one new relationship. You're one podcast interview. You're one new thought, right? And one new emotion, one connection away from totally changing your life. But if you believe it's so far away, you may miss the very people around you, the very thoughts around you that could have delivered it for you sooner. And so that's another power of one more, is that it's this close. It may take a while to get there, but if you always believe it's that far away, that's delusional. It's a delusion. And that delusion will get you to miss everything around you. There's this part of your brain called the reticular activating system that I talk about a lot. And what it does is it's a prover. It proves you're right. It gives you things. It makes you notice, hear, see, feel things in your life that validate your beliefs. So, or are important to you. So that's why, like, I bought a Tesla a while ago. All of a sudden, after I bought this Tesla, I saw Teslas all over the road. It drove Christiana crazy. I'd be like, 3 lanes over, babe, red Tesla. She's like, what is wrong with you? Right Tesla. Those Teslas were always there. Why all of a sudden am I seeing them? Everyone's had that experience. I'm seeing them because they're important to me now, right? Here's the hook. What if your dreams and your ambitions and your emotions that you want are that become the Teslas, and you believe there could be one away? Now you see things that were always there that you were oblivious to before. And that's the power of having a truth in your life and not being delusional. Well, we're going there today, aren't we?
This
Jeez.
is so good.
This is really good.
Whether it's linking it to your good intentions.
Yes.
Your good intentions.
That's right. That's
Woo!
right. And we keep things so far away, but that's a great lie. The truth is, you're one decision away from changing. You're one new relationship. You're one podcast.
I feel like we are unlearning the lies
Yes.
today. Like knocking them down.
Oh, whoa.